My name is Irene Murray Harper, and I am 66 years old. This is the house I bought in 1987. With AVA loan after my husband Ronnie died in Desert Storm. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, yellow siding, and a cracked concrete bird bath in the front yard that still has the same plastic flamingo Ronnie stuck in it. The week before he deployed, he raised my only child, Jennifer, in this house. I paid every bill, every tax, every repair out of night shift wages. At the cookie factory, never missed a day. And for the last 11 months, this house has been my prison. It didn't start with chains. It started with concern. Jennifer and her husband Mark lost their rental in March 2023. When Mark got laid off from the car dealership, they showed up on my porch with 2 suitcases and a story about just needing a place until the next job. Of course, I said yes, as my daughters used to fall asleep on my chest when she was 3, thumb in her mouth, curls, smelling like Johnson's baby shampoo. How do you close the door on that little girl even when she's 41 and married to a man who calls you ma'am like it's a curse word? The first month was almost normal. They slept in Jen's old room. Cook Mark fixed the leaky faucet, watched Jeopardy together. Then the rules started. Mom, you really shouldn't be driving at night. Give me your keys. Just for no. Mom, we opened a joint checking account so I can help pay bills. It's easier. Mom, the doctor says your blood pressure is high. You need to rest. Let us take care of everything. In by 1, the doors closet. Me car keys disappeared. Me flip phone went missing. Wi-Fi password got chain. Get deadbolt. Got a key. I didn't have me social security. Direct deposit started landing in the joint account. I never agreed to open. Got $20 a week for incidentals handed to me like I was a child. Then came the yelling. Then the shove. Then the first time Mark grabbed my wrist so hard the bones sang. Jennifer just watched, arms folded, lips tight. The same look she used to give me when I wouldn't buy her the expensive jeans in high school. In October, they decided I was wandering. That's the word they used when they bought the chain. It's a plastic-coated dog tie-out cable, the kind you screw into the ground for big labs. They bolted one end to the cast iron radiator in the spare room, the room that used to be a nursery, and clipped the other end to a leather cuff around my left ankle. 22 feet of reach. And now to get to the twin bed, the dresser, and the portable potty chair they brought in from Walmart. Not enough to reach the door. They fed me once a day, usually at night after Mark got home from whatever cash job he'd found. A paper plate slid under the crack in the door. Cold spaghetti, a slice of bread, water in a plastic cup with a lid and straw so you don't spill. Mom, Jennifer quit looking me in the eye after the 3rd week. I lost 28 pounds. Me ankle never stopped bleeding where the cuff grew. Betty learned to sleep sitting up because lying down made the chain pull. I counted the cracks in the ceiling, plaster 47, and gave them numb. Messy stopped praying for rescue. I started praying the heart attack would come quickly. Then on January 17, 2024 at 2:14 in the afternoon, God sent Rosa Delgado. Rosa cleaned houses for 35 years. For 12 of those years, every other Thursday she cleaned. Minish retired in 2021 when her knees gave out, but we still exchanged Christmas cards. He hadn't seen her since before the lockdown. That Tuesday she was driving past on her way to the senior center and saw my front flower bed. Geraniums I babied every spring were dead. Sticks. Plastic flamingo had fallen over something in her gut. Twisted. She pulled into the driveway. Front door was locked. Knocked. No answers. Knocked harder. Nothing. Then she remembered I always kept a spare key under the 3rd flower pot on the left. The cracked terracotta one shaped like a strawberry. The key was still. Rosa let herself in, calling my name softly like she used to when she thought I might be napping. The house smelled wrong, stale, sour, like unwashed bodies, and despair. Dishes piled in the sink, mail scattered on the floor. She walked down the hallway toward the spare room. The door was closed with a new hasp and padlock on the outside. Rosa's hand went to her mouth. She heard a faint rustle inside. Then my voice cracked and dry hose there. Screamed my name, fumbled the padlock, realized she Didn't have that key and dialed 911 with shaking fingers. The operator kept her on the Rosa, put the phone on speaker, and started talking to me through the door. The way you talk to a frightened Dodgets Rosa, Miss Iron, I'm here, baby, help is coming, you hold on. He started sobbing so hard the chain rattled against the radiator. The first officer arrived in 7 minutes. Second brought bolt cutters when they opened the door. The smell hit them like a Fistificer Martinez, a woman think. God dropped to her knees beside me, whispering Spanish prayers, while her partner cut the cuff off my ankle. Rosa stood in the doorway crying into her sweater. They carried me out on a stretcher because my legs wouldn't hold meth. Last thing I saw before the ambulance doors closed was Jennifer's car pulling into the driveway. Took one look at the police cruisers and tried to reverse, but they already had her boxed in. Mark came home an hour later with a 12-pack and walked straight into handcuffs at the hospital. They documented everything: the infected ulcer around my ankle, the healing rib fractures, the malnutrition, the dehydration, the bruises in every stage of healing, shaped like fingerprints and belt buckles. They took 112. Photographer DA herself came to my room the next day and held my hand while I gave my statement. Jennifer's defense was textbook: we're protecting her, has dementia, kept trying to leave the house at night, who didn't know what else to do. Chain disagreed. Empty insurer cans in the trash disagreed. Padlock receipt from Home Depot dated October 9th disagreed. Rosa's 911 call timestamp disagreed. In the spare key still in Rosa's pocket when the police asked how she got in disagreed. Loudest of all trial was fastilder abuse with great bodily injury, false imprisonment, financial exploitation. They drained $87,000 from my savings for house expenses and a used Kamarov. Jury took 43 minutes. Sentencing day was gray and cold, the kind of March morning that can't decide if it wants to snowy. Wore the navy blue suit I bought for Ronnie's military funeral 33 years earlier. It still fit. Jennifer cried prettily in her orange jumpsuit. Mark stared at the floor. The judge asked if I wished to make a victim impact statement. He walked to the podium with the cane the hospital gave Mimi. Ankle was still wrapped. The scar will never fade. I looked at my daughter, really looked at her for the first time in almost a year. Jennifer Lynn Harper Morris, I began, voice steady. I raised you for 35 years. You worked doubles so you could take ballet and go to church camp. I sat up all night when you had pneumonia, never once laid a hand on you in anger. You kept me prisoner for 11 months. I fed me like a dog. You let your husband break my ribs because I asked for my own money. Today justice balanced the books. He turned to the judge. Your Honor, I don't want them in my house ever again. You don't want them in my life. Some things can't be fixed with sword. Jennifer wailed. Mark finally looked up, eyes red, mouth open like he wanted to say something and couldn't find the words. Judge gave them each 12 years, no early release at house, and every penny came back to me through victim restitution. DA helped me set up a trust so no one can ever touch it again. Rosa moved into the spare room, the one with the radiator, until I could walk without. The Kanesh cooks for me on Thursdays now, just like old times, and we watch Wheel of Fortune and eat off real plats on nights. I still wake up reaching for a chain that isn't there. Me ankle aches when it rains. I keep the plastic flamingo upright in the bird bath, and every spring I plant red geraniums in the bed by the porch and under the cracked strawberry pot. There is no key anymore. I don't need one. Door is Minith, house is Minimi, name is Irene Murray Harper, and I am finally completely free.
Her face hardened into a threat. Sign a retraction tomorrow or I'll have you declared incompetent and evict you. This house is half mine. For the first time, her threats felt hollow. I'm not afraid of you anymore. She raised her hand. The doorbell rang. It was Martha with a pie. Arthur heard a commotion. Everything. Okay? Over her shoulder, I saw Grace pretending to be a new neighbor. Just a minor spill. Martha, Clara called. perfect smile back. Thanks for checking. After they left, Clara seethed. This isn't over. We go to the bank at 10 tomorrow. You will sign. That night, I didn't sleep. I saw a shadow in the garden, Martha, discreetly placing something near my window, a small camera dot. The next morning, Clara was sickly sweet. I've been to Harsh, Dad. Let's fix this at the bank. You'll tell them you've authorized everything. Zenzakapu DGRC? Or I'll have my doctor friends evaluate you for dementia. Who would believe your stories then? The manipulation was masterful, designed to make me doubt my own mind. At 8:30, a tap at the back door. Martha, I have the recordings. Artha, we go to the district attorney. Now, I looked at the clock. I thought of the bank, the forced signature, a lifetime of complicity. I grabbed my documents. I chose freedom. At the DA's office. Brenda, a victim advocate, reviewed the evidence. This is coercion, fraud, abuse. We can arrest her today. But I need your official statement. As I signed, police took Clara into custody at my home. She was raging, destructive. From jail, the messages came. First, please, then a letter. I know your secrets. Dad, the Henderson case from '08, the documents you misplaced for a partner, I have copies. Drop the charges or you face obstruction. My past professional compromise. Now a weapon? Brenda advised full disclosure. Take away her power. We held a press conference. I stood before cameras. My heart a drum. My name is Arthur Walsh. For 2 years, my daughter has abused me. I confessed my own past error openly. She used this to blackmail me. Today, I reclaim my story. The vulnerability was terrifying, but it was mine. Clara called from jail, defeated. You destroyed me. No, I said. You chose this path every time you raised your hand. I hung up. That night, I slept in my own bed, the silence not empty, but full of possibility. Clara's boss, Mr. Jack, offered me a consultant role to help untangle her financial sabotage with a settlement for my suffering. My house was still mine, loaner claims were forgeries, the trial looms, and I will testify. This journey taught me that chains can be forged by love and fear in equal measure, and breaking them requires facing your own shadows first. If my story speaks to you, if you've felt that trapped silence, let me know in the comments. And if you believe in stories of reclaiming one's life, please support Winds of Thought with a like. It truly helps others find this channel